Hello, and welcome to 73 Words in the 732, short stories from the East Brunswick Public Library. I'm your host, Melissa Hosick. Since 2018, the library has been celebrating National Short Story Month with a short story competition. With inspiration from our area code 732, we challenged our community to write short stories with 73 words or less. This podcast showcases some of our authors from the grown-up category. Today, we are joined by Jennifer Donovan from Somerset. Welcome, Jennifer.
Thank you so much for having me.
When did you start writing?
So I really only started writing in the past 5 to 6 years. So I am definitely a late starter. I started writing when I was a kid, but then I stopped. And it was really just fear of sharing, fear of failure, fear of criticism, fear of success, fear of all the fear that kept me from writing for most of my life. And it really wasn't until the last 5 or 6 years that my desire to get the thoughts out of my head and onto paper or in the computer really started to outweigh that fear. So it's really only the last year that I've been more earnest about it. Like I would do like 2 or 3 blog posts a year at first. And now with the pandemic, I guess an upside is I've had more time and energy. And there's probably an increased urgency when you think, any day you could get a deadly disease. It makes you, it lights a fire.
So, what inspired you to write your 73 words in the 732 submission?
So I was scrolling through Facebook one night and I saw a Patch.com article that was promoting the contest, and I was immediately excited because it was through a library, and I love libraries. I worked in one. I am a huge fan of all of the services and wonderful things that public libraries provide. And the other thing was, I was immediately like, oh, it's a library. I'm in. And then the other thing was like all the writing that I do is personal essay or memoir. And I have this one piece of fiction that I started writing last year, and I have no idea where it's going, and I don't know if I'm ever even going to finish it, but it's there. And I thought, 73 words. First of all, that's like just so few words. I cannot believe how few 73 words are until I started whittling down that story. So it was a challenge, but I thought it would be an opportunity to maybe whittle that story to its essence, and it might then help me move forward with it. So that is what I did, and here we are.
Well, we'd love to hear you read it for us.
So it is called Reluctant Solitude. A cone fell from a dying pine onto a rusty-roofed Mercedes, startling the man. He regarded his cluttered yard and neglected garden before walking down his driveway to his mailbox. Finding it empty, he turned, walked back past his neglected garden, through the cluttered yard, and toward his hoarded house. Well, maybe tomorrow, he muttered aloud to no one, and shut the door.
Thank you so much for sharing your story. Do you share more writings, and if so, where can people find them?
So I do, and so I do have a blog. It is www.justonlyjen.com, and Jen has 2 N's. And I also post on a page on Medium, which is justonlyjen.medium.com.
Again, we appreciate your time, Jennifer, and thank you for joining us today.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I really loved participating. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today on 73 Words in the 732. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Check out our back catalog anywhere you listen to podcasts, and subscribe to be notified of our future episodes.